Hey, Coach, it's Trevor from the CUTigers.com here. Ches Malusi, he's got 2 touchdowns in the last 3 games. Has he Duke's had a nice run on Saturday as well, but has Ches kind of elevated to maybe like a 3A with Rencher in terms of the pecking order?
Oh, man, they're just all kind of right there together. I got confidence in all of them. I don't really have a pecking order. Other than those first 2 guys right now, and the rest of them, we trust them and try to get them in there. And I always ask Tony, hey, who's your first guy you want in there? I try to help him with the rotation down the field. But those guys have all taken advantage of their opportunities. Ches, really pleased with him. He's run hard. He's gotten better and better. He's still cleaning up a few things protection-wise. Dukes has taken advantage of his opportunities. He's going to be a good player. And then Kobe is a easy guy to fall in love with when you watch him run the ball. He's a very natural runner, physical, got a great presence and demeanor to him, and he's a exciting young player for sure. So we got a good group.
Coach, I guess I'll ask another one. Taquan Johnson had 30 snaps on Saturday. Just curious how he graded.
Solid. That whole second group is getting better, and Taquan is a really promising young guy. I mean, moving him over there. Obviously, we didn't get a chance to finish spring practice or anything like that, and didn't really have a normal summer. But I'm really proud of him. I mean, he's a work in progress, and he's a redshirt freshman. But he's one of the most powerful guys we've ever had come through here. And if he'll really put the work in, mentally and physically and nutritionally, as he matures, he could be a special player. He really could. I mean, he's got very good athleticism, but he's still kind of working himself into being the type of offensive lineman that we want him to be. But he's got all the tools. He's got everything he needs to be a great player, not a good player. So, but he's progressing.
Dabo, this is Larry Williams. Speaking of freshman offensive lineman, Walker Parks, is it odd for a freshman lineman to come in at left tackle in a drive and then play right tackle in the same drive as I think he did in the second quarter Saturday?
Yeah, I don't know how many guys we've done that. I know, obviously Mitch came in and started pretty much from the get-go, and but Jackson played left and right tackle, but I don't know that he did it in the same series. But that was something that I really wanted to get done. I told Walker at breakfast that morning that I was going to get him in there early, and in fact, I asked him that. I said, "Hey, you comfortable playing right as well?" And he said, "Absolutely, I'm comfortable." And I said, "Well, that's a good answer." So, we were able to get Jackson out for a few plays and then roll Walker over there, get Jordan out. And that's something that we wanted to do early to get Walker going. Walker's really progressing. I mean, he's going to be a great player, and just trying to get him more reps, and got Mason in there early too. So both of those guys, have really kind of progressed very well. I was pleased with a bunch of those guys. Cade played some tackle for us, and he can definitely do that. Hunter Rayburn showed some physicality, and I think he made our knockdown board, and so pleased with Paul Teo got in there and did some good stuff as well. So Trent Howard's going to be a heck of a player. He's a power hour guy for us right now, but man, that kid knows how to play the game. We just got to kind of beef him up a little bit in the weight room, but man, it's a good group. I was pleased with all of them. But Walker Parks is really kind of separated himself, and a guy that we trust, playing either tackle. We didn't have Mitchell. Mitchell was unavailable, so hate that he missed some good opportunity as well.
Hey, Dabo, this is Will, Clemson Insider. How did Tyson and DJ progress the last 2 days here in practice?
They've done well. I'm really proud of Tyson. First of all, I mean, I really honestly didn't know if he'd be able to practice. He had surgery on Sunday, and he put these little screws. I mean, so I knew he was pretty sore in his left hand, but he practiced, all Tuesday and all today. And so I'm really, really just proud of him for pushing through. And they did a nice job of kind of how they built the protection on top of his hand. And then DJ's had a good week.
Hey, Dabo, this is Grace from The Athletic. As Xavier Thomas continues to progress, just what is your sense of what this process has been like for him?
I think it's been really challenging for him. It's been a long journey. I mean, he had a tough summer. He had a really tough summer. And I think it just, it just affected him in a lot of ways. And so just happy to see him, getting back to this point. It was just awesome to be able to get him just a few snaps against Miami, and then see him be able to play. I think he played maybe 20 snaps or something like that against Georgia Tech. We didn't have many snaps on defense, only like 50-something plays. So he played, as many as anybody. But that was a great next step for him. But he's still working himself back into, where he needs to be. He's still getting his body back where he needs to be. But even not 100% physically, he's still a gifted football player. And so he's a work in progress. But I love his mindset. He's really I think turned the corner. And I just watched him out there today. I mean, Tuesday, Wednesday practices are tough around here. They're not easy, but this is where you get better. This Tuesday, Wednesday practices, if you have a game rep mentality, that's how you get better. So, he's putting the work in, and man, he's to get a guy like him, right now is a big shot in the arm for us. So hopefully he can just stay on course and keep progressing and keep fighting through.
Dabo, this is Matt with the State. With Xavier, do you know how close he is to being where he needs, like his body, like what I guess he is to being where he would like to be? Or
I don't. I can't give you a percentage or anything like that. I mean, I just, he just, like I said, he wasn't able to have anything like an off season like he wanted to have or needed to have, and so it's kind of been just, pick it up. But he spent a lot of time, all of camp and all those first several weeks of the season, just off to the side with our trainers and strength people and just kind of getting himself where he could get back into practice. And now it's he's in the season trying to play himself, almost like camp, play yourself into game shape and football, conditioning type of deal. So he's progressing, but I don't know a percentage or anything like that. But I know this, he's pretty good. He's not 100%, but any percentage of Xavier still pretty daggone good.
That was Larry again. I think you've noted recently how many orange hats you see around the ball on like perimeter plays and things like that on defense. Is this one of the faster groups you've had sort of laterally in that way?
Oh yeah, no, we're fast. We're fast defense. These guys can run. I mean, these guys on the back end can fly. I mean, we got speed everywhere. Our backers can run. The guys up front can run and move. And so, and then just their effort. I mean, it's one thing to be able to run. I've had a lot of guys that can run, but they don't play fast or they don't have that type of motor. But this defense has a motor. That's what I love. They got a motor as a team. They got a motor. And we hold them accountable every single week to, how we get to the ball, our effort to the ball, anybody loafing, anything like that. And so they take pride in that. But when you put great effort with also speed, you're going to get a lot of hats around the ball. And it's been awesome to see. These guys are competing. We've been able to play a lot of people too. Been able to sub a lot of guys. And guys are competing for time. Guys are flying. They want to make a play. They want to get to the ball, and they want to be in that frame when we freeze it. So it's been good to see.
Yeah, but this is Matt again. Tony mentioned after the game Saturday, challenging the receivers, and maybe someone on Georgia Tech staff said that without Justin and T, the offense looks different. Just with that receiver group, how do you feel like that group's performed overall this year? And is that something that y'all mentioned to them is maybe people don't think they're as good without those two guys from last year?
I haven't. I mean, I know this. I love those guys. We got a bunch of dudes. They'd all like to have them, whoever they are. They'd like to have these guys. I'll tell you that. So, I mean, these guys can play anywhere in the country. This is a special, talented group, just like we've had every year for a long time. And they're all different levels and things like that. But they've done great. I mean, we've had a drop here or there, but shoot, I go back to 16. Mike Williams, I think he dropped 3 touchdowns against Auburn. It was the 7th pick in the draft. We had several drops. We had a bunch of drops. Like the first 3 games of 16, we must have had 15 drop balls. And but we've had Frank's had a couple drops, but it's the easy plays. It's the layup. It's the wide open, uncontested. And that's just a mental thing that he'll push through. But man, we've caught the ball well. We're throwing the ball well. We're just running our offense. I mean, we don't really, the games dictate kind of how it goes, but we're not trying to really force anything. We're just playing ball and running our offense and trust our quarterback to make good decisions and take advantage of matchups and use our skill in every way possible. But they're developing really well. I mean, Amari's having a career year. Cornell's, as I've said, just a matter of time before he makes a couple great plays. You saw that the other day. Spector's really coming on. Really excited about his promise. He's a redshirt freshman. Frank Ladson's going to be a special player. Joe's, I think, had his best week this week as far as his ability to really practice full speed. Joe is he's still in the oven. He's going to be baking a little while, but he's going to be a great one when it's all said and done. So I mean, it's just the whole group is done well. EJ Williams, EJ's as good as we've had. People sometimes look at me and think I'm crazy when I say that. EJ Williams is going to be a superstar. He's just a freshman, and we have other good players. So they're all young and growing up and learning. And Grish is doing an awesome job. We're 5-0, so they've made a lot of plays to help us get there. That's for sure.
Hey, Dabo, this is Will again. Want to just kind of ask you, because the Big Ten is starting up this weekend, and there's a lot of talk about, if they can get to 8 games or not. And just wanted to get your opinion more than anything. If they were only to play 6 games in one of those 2 conferences, as opposed to you guys playing 12 and you match up against one of those teams in a playoff game, would there be a disadvantage for you guys considering the injuries and stuff that go on during a normal case of a season? Would that be a disadvantage for the team that played 12 games or a team that played 6 games?
Yeah, I don't really care. I don't have an opinion on it. I mean, I just hope we're there, and whoever. That's why they have a committee to sit around and talk about all that stuff. They put me on the committee that I can offer up my opinions and all that, but I just care about Clemson, and if we us handling our business, and hopefully, we can find a way to get there. That'd be a blessing. We'd be happy to play anybody that they want us to play.
Hey, Coach, it's Trevor again. You were able to get Aiden Swanson in there for a punt on Saturday, his second of the season. You don't punt often, but how important is it just to get Aiden some live bullet opportunities, in case you need him at some point?
Yeah, I'm proud of Aiden. His confidence is growing, and the best part about Aiden that people really don't know is he's really, kind of quietly over the last year, really developing into a 3-tool guy for us. He's going to be a really good player. He's getting stronger. He's still got some developing to do in the weight room. You may think, a kicker in the weight room, but it matters. I mean, it really does. But he's going to be a kickoff guy. He's a punter, and he's really become an excellent field goal guy. So I'm really excited about his future and the promise that he brings. I mean, he's a redshirt freshman, so he's still got 4 more years after this year, with the COVID year, counted in there. So he's done well, and it was very good to get him in there. And not only did we get him in there, but he pinned one deep, and so proud of him. He's making really good progress.
We'll take one final one for Coach.
Hey, Coach, it's David. Speaking of wide receivers, Justin Ross back in full pads today. Just another, step in the process for him. And how good was it to see, him out there and being able to take a little bit more part?
awesome. I mean, so he was full pads yesterday and today, and he did all of our individual, all of our receiver work, all of our routes versus air. And I mean, man, you forget how special he is. I mean, but it was just, it's just amazing. I mean, he ran a double move out there today. And I mean, his ability to plant and cut and change direction, his hips are, I mean, it was just awesome to see, him, because he's violent when he cuts. And I didn't see any hesitation in him at all. You'd never in a million years know that he's been dealing what he's been dealing with. So I'm just really, really happy for him. I know he was a little sore today because he hadn't worn shoulder pads in a long time, but I'm really happy for him and just hopeful that, the good Lord will bless him with some good news in December.